Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning. Well, my data is screwed up. Hold on. How's it going? I'll fix the microphone, the thing here too. Yeah, that didn't really work. Oh well. Maybe it just needs to be moved over like this. Need to get a webcam that attaches to the monitor a little bit better than that. Anyways, okay, so markets haven't quite opened yet. We do have an abbreviated week, right? So trading around Thanksgiving is kind of weird. I do recall seeing we do tend to have some strange moves ahead of holidays, and sometimes you can see like really wild trading before the holiday and then afterwards it being just completely dead. But it's also a Monday. So yeah, now we did have an okay overnight range. So that's another thing to keep in mind. We've developed a pretty solid range between here and here. Notice that we did come down to the support area and held it. Up at 055 is some heavy resistance. So we may stay in this area. I do see some spread action in here too. Spread didn't quite come back all the way. Let's see here in the 5-year, pretty similar. A little bit more clear actually. But we're in the bull bear zone. Bull bear zone is 10. Okay. And here in the E-mini. E-mini moved higher, but not a new high. Okay. So yeah, this could be tough trading, I think. So I'm gonna keep my risk on a tight leash today. And yeah, we'll see what else goes. What is Patrick Rooney saying here? Use ADL to create your own order type. This example algo order will always submit your bid with a quantity roughly equal to 10% of the current best bid quantity. Oh, that's super cool. I've mentioned this to Pete before actually, that I would really like to be able to program in Jigsaw to be able to do exactly that sort of a thing, to say, like, hey, instead of it being, having to come in here and set it manually, hey, here's, like I have a stop volume 10, 1,000 contracts. How about I just say, what if the offer gets below 5% of what it was, or something like that, And there's all sorts of setups that you could do with that. That's way cool. Oh, wrong channel. Okay. I don't know if Igor ever ended up streaming last night. Yes, and then in Bitcoin, I have Bitcoin over here. You can see they made an attempt to pierce lows over here. They didn't quite make it on the exchange, but they did in the futures. And they may be going for more, so I would keep an eye on that. It's looking pretty bad for cryptocurrencies right now. Alright, they are. So here comes the open. Okay, so the first impulse on the open was buy. But we opened below the bull bear zone. We did kind of pivot there at 030. So I don't think that a short here at 030 would be I mean, that's the spot that you could do it at. But we got this profile thing going on here. I don't know if I want to mess with that. I need to pull my E-mini one up. Here. Oh yes, that's right. I forgot that I changed things, so I have this in this area that you can't see. I have my my ZB, the UB rather. Well, let's grab the links first. Already got some viewers, so thank you for watching. Well, it's already being kind of fishy at 025. Not fishy, but they're not really holding, are they? So you've just blah blah blah. So sorry about that. Bitcoin is just getting demolished right now. Pull it up on the exchange. Okay, so that while they did tick down, they're not putting a huge offer there. You may get this thing where when it goes, it's just going to go really quickly. But we may have already missed the train. Okay, they made a new low on Coinbase too. It went to 51.14. And a few ticks down there. The 5 year has been is dragging it down pretty good here too. And notice they didn't trade a whole lot of those true prices.
Hearing from Stephen Spencer saying the government preparing to accept the amendment tabled by 11 Tory Remainers calling for comparison of PM's Brexit staying in the EU.
So I'm gonna let this one do its thing because I don't know yet. Okay, well, we do see some absorption. But, the move up on Friday I thought was a little odd. They seem to be making a call.
To come out. Bloomberg.
And
So destroying by chief of staff.
no duh. Marcus don't care.
So minutes time at the bottom. Yeah, we are Scavici.
Okay. Anyways, I thought that Friday's action was a little off to me. I didn't expect it, and that seemed like people were making a larger call on interest rates that I didn't quite see or understand. And so I don't know what, from a fundamental perspective, if we get below this overnight range. I mean, can they really get back to 29? That's where I'm kind of skeptical. And you notice there was some iceberging there at 01, more than enough to be the end of the move. So it's unsure. Now ES is moving up. ES is moving up, so it could happen.
W change 5 to 6.
So if I had taken that one at 03, remember where I said 03 is the price you could do it at, but the profile isn't super great. It would have been better to be 035. So we didn't take it. If we had taken it, I think that all of that absorption at 01, I would want to be taking it off because I'm still not sure if this is going to turn into a monster move or if it's just going to be super quiet today. So at the moment, they're not really. They're making it look like it could go through. They're not flipping it. Okay. Well, there was a flip, but it was an iceberg order in the 5-year. This could be a reversal here. The flipping against this, it could flip against this big order here. They tick up and maybe we could get a tick or two back up. So they're really hitting into it. It's a big one. Ooh, 7,000. That's pretty big, guys. They got above it. But not a strong bid. Well, I think this one is... Oops. Need to change it to this. I think that this one is worth trying. This looks like it was kind of luring there. They pulled a little bit. Some orders went through, only 200, and then it stacked back up. Ooh, and look at them hitting it in ZF.
Hearing from Beth Rigby on a confident vote to watch. As of midday, Graham Brady hasn't contacted. Is the ERG worried? It's Ali said.
E-mini is coming back as part of why it's happening. A bit concerned about taking 20 just from a risk perspective. Even if it comes up to like 30, it's like it could come back down to here and that would be no good. So I think it's better to just leave this and see if we get filled, and if we don't, then we don't. See, they look like they're luring to me. And notice that I'm actually at the back of the queue. They pulled and I'm at the back of the queue. Okay. All right, well, they took me out. They filled me. They dumped 3K on it. And the 01 pulled. There was like 3,000 there at 01 that pulled. Hmm. Okay. So it looks like so that was good, and I like that we got 3K there again. This is not quite as thick as it was before, but it kind of looks again that the E-mini is part of what's making us tick back and forth here. So the E-mini ticked down there, and then they fought back. It was only down for a split second, and immediately 7 came back, and then now we're trading back and forth at this 015. Hmm. Now that's a little curious at 015. I don't think that that's a bad news for a probability at all. We can trade up through it, but it kind of says to me that there's not as much interest in taking a trade right now. There's just a lot of people with icebergs sitting around. But the market orders aren't hitting it super aggressive. Because no way they would leave 500 sitting there.
Seals isn't a Seals piece citing Bloomberg saying Russia's energy seeing the country in OPEC need to launch the oil market in before making decisions.
Especially since the 5-year is already bid. There's a huge iceberg here at 015. Would much rather have it be the other way. But I think that this is going to continue to do this until they clear it. Okay, there's a lot at 02 as well. I just noticed that. I want to see them clear the iceberg and move up, and I want to see what happens when we do it. What happens to this 02? And I need to be ready to bail on this if I need to. So they might not make it through. Are we going to get a 10K? Okay, so they did clear through it. The pull was not unusual. Here, the amount that's there, 48. Oh, and they offer it again. Okay, but the 5-year is absorbing some contracts here. Okay. That wasn't good. Nobody's hitting into this yet. See, now we've got 41. Yeah, there's my.
Up to on a bond sell to purchase.
So they normally will clear this before they try and bust it through the low. So if they do that before doing so, then this would be really negative. Okay. Watch this because we could be getting an iceberg. Okay, so equities fell there. I think that might have been. Try this again. Okay. I don't know about that. So they pushed it down for sure, and then it came down to the low, and there wasn't interest in aggressively taking it there. We came back up. It's not like a ton of contracts have traded. So I don't feel like the guys that dug in at 02, 02 half, if they were somebody trying to lure us, trying to get everybody to sell so that they could fill more contracts, they didn't, they weren't getting filled on a ton of stuff there, you know? And through this range, the net contracts is long by about 10,000. So there's that, but on the split side, the 5 year came up pretty aggressively there, and if they can get through this 25 evens, 25 quarters, you know, then I think that we could see some stops and move up. And the E-mini looks like they kind of want to sell. I don't know. The I should be careful though. I shouldn't get greedy. If this comes up, I think I'm gonna have to take the first stop because I don't. There's E-mini is still like within its range. Yeah, it's interesting. Price action wise, that definitely looked like a they were pushing people down so that they could go long because it was super stubborn. And they pushed it down, and then there was no aggression after that. Like all of that pressure to push us lower, and they didn't take the lows, not even interested in it, and now 2 ticks higher with almost no resistance. And the E-mini dropping. It's just being patient now. Okay. So they didn't take it up there. Okay, that's a good bid. It's okay. It's just not super strong in the 5-year. It is 3 holding there at 0.25. So I'm wondering if we got some profit takers here. E-mini is doing a little bit of ranging here now. Get they already came back a little bit. Some liquidity. Wonder if they want to go through that liquidity though. They often just can't help it. Fingers already up too.
Geopolitical BuzzFeed US lobby to not sanctions against Russia.
Italy wants to drop sanctions against Russia? I tell you what, unrelated, but just it's been on my mind. Is it just me? Or does it seem like, especially on the Democrat side, but there's a lot of Republicans doing this too. Mostly people that are anti-Trump, but I don't think that it has really anything to do with Trump. But it just seemed like these guys want to sanction everybody, want to sanction. I mean, it's like everybody. Granted, they have reasons. It's not like it's a dumb thing, but I feel like I'm constantly hearing sanctions against Russia, sanctions against Saudi Arabia, sanctions against Iran, sanctions against North Korea. They're just sanctioning everybody these days. And the one against the one in Saudi Arabia is kind of weird in my head because it's like, I mean, they're supposed to be an ally. Don't you want them to be an ally? I mean, that they've been holding the price of oil down. Like they're good ally to have in your corner. You certainly don't want them against you because if Saudi Arabia was taken over by somebody else and started openly supporting terrorism, man, wouldn't that be such a disaster? I mean, there's already a lot of terrorism coming from that side of the world, but then if they just went whole hog, I think it could be really really negative. And so I'm just kind of a rock and a hard place. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I'm just surprised that some people are so sure and are just pushing whole hog for it. So they did touch 025. The 5 year does look like it's going to push up a little bit, but they're not taking it. They're not taking it. CB is giving me buy impulses though. It's just a very sparse volume. Should add, by the way, that ZT has not moved up.
Just getting the some French auction sold at 2 spots.
They're absorbing here. It's interesting.
Euros, average 6-7% with a bit. 6-month bill sells amounts. Cover of 2%. The 12-month bills, the cover coming 3 spot 419 times amounts sold 992 million euros with an average yield minus spot 56.
It's at 20K on the offer there. It's not budging. Oh, look at that. And some pulled off there. Big icebergs on that though. That and they just cover right back on top of it. And ZT
Up as well. 5 minutes.
offer is now even bigger.
Speaking slow.
See, the 30 years still buying. They can't get through it.
Consider
Okay, so that was a pretty good move up there. I mean, they had to push through it, and it actually tried selling back into it, but they held it. But it didn't go in the 5-year. And the ZT has still got the 58 on there. The E-mini did take a dive there, though.
Spain seeking assurances over Gibraltar Brexit. More on that piece. Apparently, any diplomats she could go as far as Sunday summit of course is aimed at rubber stamping Brexit. Other outstanding points are fishing and post-Brexit.
Yeah. And they're having a hard time holding 25 in the 5-year now, too. I think yeah. Hmm. See, this is just only getting stronger. This did not get filled. Hmm. Let's see here in the 5-year. They're still having trouble on it. Hmm. Okay.
Those keeping in
As long as this big offer is here in ZT, I'm not so sure that we can move up significantly. See that? So we came down a little bit. Um, Nothing super crazy happened. So we ticked it back up again. And when we tick back up, there's another huge iceberg at 025. And the ZT offer continues to be very strong despite all three of these trying to pull us up. And the E-mini moving down a little bit. I don't think that I want to move against what the trend is in CF. I see a case though for shorting it here.
Seeing South Africa's vulnerabilities, saying South
58 now. This isn't moving much. It's making me feel sleepy. There, we are getting a bid iceberg now. So that's different. Right at where we got out.
or from Beth Rigby on the confidence vote watch saying source tells me that vote doesn't happen today. It's a victory for the Tory party machine whipping operation weekend. B, it's delayed, not forgotten. Apparently, some MPs think it's better for puts letters in after she loses the withdrawal agreement vote in the
So iceberg in the 30-year too. I think we should reset the DOM to this spot. Well, the 5-year did tick up. This bid, then now they've got a strong bid here in the ZT. Okay. So now they're holding a good bid at 03, so maybe we do get a little bit more of a move up. Although this is still looks stubborn to me, but we got a stronger bid at least. There you go. I knew what causes that, but same here in the. You can see they're selling it, the E-mini. They make a new overnight low. Okay. Yes, they did.
Emerging markets need by Reuters sources improving.
So they traded the 035, apparently. 5 contracts went into it. And now they're holding an offer at 03 again. And the ZT offer is now over 60. And the 5-year continues to struggle at the 052, 055 area. Notice this discrepancy here. 10-year offer is weaker, but the 5-year bid is weaker. 30 years even. Seems like the 5-year is the one that's an outlier. Well, they traded it down. And they all ticked down there like that. Okay. So I'm noticing a big bid at 24 now. I think somebody may have gone short here. Besides myself, of course. Hmm. See, this offer is only getting stronger in CT. You're getting this discrepancy again. The bid in the 5-year looks a little weak, but the 10-year still looks like it wants to tick up.
Won't go on too much about this in a moment. Central bank to panel to review the RBI's funds and government.
Okay, so there's a big iceberg there at 025. It got filled pretty quickly, and then they pushed it right back down. But some of that size and ZT pulled off. Nope, it's stacking back up again. The 5-year is no longer indicating down.
Bank's Nicolason saying that the Kuwait economy is doing very well.
Well, something's got them a little excited. Hmm. Okay. Well, not a strong offer. The trade down that time. Yeah. In fact, ZB looks like it's maybe turning. Hmm. Well, I need to see some selling there at 07.
Searing via Bloomberg, reporter Donaldson saying Marcus Fish won't confirm or deny whether he's put a letter in, but he's been unhappy about the PM's deal for a long time now. I think we heard reports last Friday about him putting a letter. He won't confirm or deny that.
Some more signs of selling, but the 07 bid is not really changing at all. And the level 2 changes have kind of calmed down now. ZB ticked up. Okay, now things have flipped around in ZT. Iceberg at 03. Ooh. Did you see that? Cancelled that just before it ticked down. Hmm. Right here, come on. They just don't want to. Okay, so there's finally a flip now in the 30-year. That 07 is dropped below the offer. And the 5-year looks like they want to sell a 052. Come on. Hey, this is just a lot of iceberging in here. Seems like they're taking it off every tick. You got selling in the 5-year, but not in the 30. And another tick up.
Norge Bank's Nicolaisen saying protection is a good hurt activity.
Well, that looks like stronger than anything that we've had for a while. Mm-hmm. Mm. They did sell through it. The E-mini is picking up a bit of a buy. The Bitcoin, by the way, has continued to move lower. They haven't breached 5K yet, but they're getting there. Okay. Interesting. When you look at it in the 30-year, there's a much stronger buy trend. Over here, from my perspective, it's just been flat. But when you look at it in the 5-year, sorry, in the 30-year, it looks like I've been against the trend. I'm seeing this offer is starting to get a little bit weaker, and the bid is getting stronger here in ZT. And that set the 5-year still not. Okay, 30-year finally ticked down. The problem you're getting is you can get it ticked down from the balance area, but then that OA will like never pull, never really get any orders into it. Although that last bit of volume to get through '09. Took a couple of contracts. We could be reading too much into it, but I think that trading through 739 and then offering 700 could be significant. Ooh, what? And the ZT actually pulled a little bit. It's starting to hit into '08 a little bit too. Okay. So far, they bid at '08 is holding strong. Five-year almost flipping? Nope. Now, that time it did. Hmm. Okay, so there's the E-mini, and on the open for the E-mini, they sold. They're buying. The Delta is all buying. But the Treasuries did tick up. Right, they're having some trouble there. Oh, 27.32. Ace actually went short at 27.29. But that one did not work out. Okay, there's some iceberging here. Curious, because possible pivot here in the E-mini.
It's a tweet from Adam Bienkov here saying Theresa May's opponents not exactly brimming over with confidence about the prospects of threshold being passed today. One ERG source telling me Tory MPs seem to care far more about there not being an election than about May's betrayal of Brexit.
Okay, so they're back up to the 32. Nope. I just got hit there. Okay. So here's buyers making a push again. Man, that looks rough. That delta turned around awfully fast, didn't it? Yeah. ZT actually ticked up, didn't it? Yep. And it only took 17K to do it. Well, now that's interesting. Okay. Maybe. Hmm. Look at these. Sellers are trying to keep it below this area, but I don't think that they're going to be able to do so. Treasuries are realizing. I think we might get another sell here though. Okay. Not getting as strong of a sell here as I thought I would.
Rear Group Centino on the wire saying we want to deliver Euro reform package in December. Heads up as Moscovici and Centino, as well as Raglan, speaking to reporters in Brussels. Equity News CNBC's favour saying no talks going on between CBS and Viacom. Eurogroup Centino saying Eurozone banks are more resilient, have reduced their risks.
See here, they're selling it, and it doesn't look like the sell is done, but they're not being very successful at all in this sell. Okay. Well, that buy was a little too easy, and they didn't quite come out the top of it yet. And just brushed the top of it there. Oh, interesting. Change in CT there. New high in the E-mini. Not quite over the VWAP though. A bubble now. Just not what we want. No, Edgar only has one trade on at the moment. Huh?
Saying no support.
So now that right there is a little disconcerting. Okay. So they are fighting it here at 27.32 again. You see the sellers winning there. Yeah. Okay. But an iceberg.
Saying Eurozone, German Eurozone budget is needed. ECB buying a net 3.109 billion euros of assets in the public sector program 16, that's 3.6 billion a week earlier. Bought a net to 9 million of assets in the covered bond purchase program 3, this is 484 million earlier. Bought a net 133 million ABS program 16, this is 73 week 0.6 billion of corporate bonds, this is 776 a week. Santino saying good progress made Eurozone package for December.
Well, the E-mini is about as disorganized as it gets right now. Delta is continuing to buy, though. See, that's not, I don't know. Correlation isn't quite holding very well, is it? In fact, they're buying it there, and the Treasury is buying it there. That has me a little concerned.
Knock-on effect for Apple shares being off it. Viacom trades down about.
Nothing actually traded there. Okay, so here's the E-mini coming into this volume area. Well, when they touched it, there was immediately some pushback. Look at that. Okay. Well, I don't like.
On the NASB house price data. Up next, housing market index there for November expected 7 versus range.
So if we had held the order, if I had held the order at 045, I would have gotten filled. But look at the E-mini going down for lows. Interesting. Okay, now they tick up. That's interesting. They just want to sell. I did the right thing.
Nasdaq bearing the brunt of the tech fallout here, with the likes of Facebook down over 4%, and Nasdaq losing.
They traded through that big order at 26 and a quarter. And now there's a big order at 25 and 3/4.
Related news now. Norway Deputy Central Bank Chief says crown currency has been weaker than expected.
Strong sell. There's still some to come out here too. They've still got about 900 contracts in the E-mini long. It's gonna be like that again. Look at how many bought at 05. And iceberg there. Well, they're kind of teeing it up like that could be a top. I don't know. Yeah. There are some attempts at buying it here in the E-mini.
ESM's regulating
But
some
that's
discussion on debts structuring, making them more predictable, not more frequent.
I don't know. This is a pretty strong trend, even though this is totally a good pivot spot. I don't know if that's actually a sell. I mean, the E-mini is really selling, and they're not done. Not all of the delta has come off. And the way it's been lately, they don't just recover from these, they just keep going. It may be the case that that buy at 05 is a.
Italy's TRIA is not in favour of new debt restructuring. TRIA
Oh.
is not in favour of new restructuring.
It's given me everything I need to see. Now we got three big prices in ZB. So I'm
ready to reply. Marks regarding the Italian budget. TRIA. 2 minutes now before the data hits the wires, then, and to recap, NAHB housing market index seen at 67, selling growth 67 versus 8, range 60.
they did tick down in ZB. I don't know. 346 there. Try one more.
Things later. Yeah, again, European economy is slowing. So in France, Germany, our growth gap with the others is that proud. Right. 10 seconds.
Not pulling for this news, so
60. Comes in at 60.
ugh.
As Trier continues to speak, house builder sentiment lowest or biggest drop since 2014, February 2014. At index at 60, current family home sales 67 versus 74. Index of home sales over 6 months 65, down from 75.
Notice the E-mini came up there again.
Trier again says we decided to do a budget which is very moderately expansionary.
Fairly significant, and we're not getting selling.
Our budget differently. We don't know if it will.
They're selling on the offer. but they're not market selling it, even though the E-mini did come back quite a bit.
Recent years, France has always had a deficit much higher than have.
This just goes up either way, guys. So I think I'm done.
We are still speaking about Italy. Our plans aren't changing, says Maria. Discussions will carry on with the committee. Again, government inherited a deficit that was already too.
Okay. I mean, the E-mini pivot was all the way down at 2670 on a daily basis back on November 15th. So it's not like they don't have room to move down.
Body up as much as 19%.
when you consider it from that perspective, we're still just in the natural pullback. Okay. So now they're hitting some crazy.
Trio says he hopes yield spreads fall soon, and it is understood that 2.4% deficit goal is the maximum.
They're still going. They got down there way too easily.
Trio, spread doesn't influence attention on the deficit target. Right about the spread, Italian bond spread.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I tried to stop limit into it. Look at where I got on the queue. I should read. I have not. I don't like that. Crap. Easy is 139.16 and then 139.27. But this is already looks a little crazy to me. That bird is already put the food in and he immediately starts wasting the food and dumping it out. Well, this is... So look at how thick it is below us. Hmm. I still feel super. I don't know. When it ticks up, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, it's gonna keep going. When it ticks down, I'm like, oh, maybe it's gonna reverse. I'm a little too wishy-washy here. I think that says to me that probability is not in my favor. Okay, so there's the E-mini recovered, and it's trying to make another push-up. Let's see, that's the 30, 33, 34. No, I don't like that. Okay. So now it's not ticking down even though the E-mini took a few ticks. Like they're eating into 06 half.
FT, France is pushing for extra conditions on Brexit trade deal. Just short that France now is looking for extra conditions on the
Okay.
Brexit trade deal.
A lot of stacking and pulling.
Eurozone budget proposal major breakthrough.
We're seeing 1,000 adding and pulling.
BS says privatisation plans will not mean losing control of strategic assets or those that guarantee long-term yields.
Iceberg.
Comments there by Lemaire at the moment.
They done?
Eurozone budget should enter into force in 2021, says Lemaire.
Well, I don't like the pattern that the chart is making right now.
That's Lemaire then. Comprehensive agreement on Eurozone budget at EU December summit. Security backstop for the single mechanism. Schultz is also speaking at this event, says he is optimistic. Schultz in December.
So it looks like they're starting to sell it in the E-mini. Treasuries are stacking and pulling a ton. Don't seem to be sure if we're going to go through here or not. I may have to scratch this. I see that bunch of liquidity below us in the yes. Okay, so there's my tick up. I'm not seeing significant pulling. Okay. Good stack though. Here ES is starting to sell hard. You can see right there they didn't go very far. Okay. Yeah, I think that was right.
That France one, colleagues put it out earlier today. There's an update on that. Some of the wires have just up. Put a link up for the Eurozone budget. Barclays has cut financials to market weight on their US equity strategy. Get looked at.
Hmm.
Italy's Trias is clear something isn't working in our dialogue with the Commission. We need to interpret clash. No reason to exist.
Man. Look at that. But Treasuries did not react to that at all. What's with that? Well, it was a really risky play anyways. So I'm not going to be too sour about it not working. You see that right there? So they bought it. Clear this. They bought it all through here. And then they were still able to push it down. And right there, he puked. But Treasuries did not really react to it. Well, they did. They did now. Now they're 2 ticks up, but at the time they didn't really react to it. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, this is just going. They are just determined to sell this. They want this the low.
Primary surplus for almost 20 years. It's false to say it has a profligate finances.
Well, This is very difficult. Well, okay, so now there's some really, really big orders above us.
Pricing here. BPCE prices $1 billion with its 8-year covered paper at 9 basis points.
That one that was at 31 pulled, though. You know that as soon as I go long, that's going to be when it stops, right?
A delegation of conservative Brexiteers have now turned up at number 10 Downing Street.
Hmm.
Shorts, no Eurozone country objected to Eurozone budget proposal. Carl Dillon says that those Brexiteers now at number 10 are hoping to persuade the PM the Irish backstop to be avoided with a separate trade treaty.
See, it's coming back and they're acting like they're done again. The E-mini did not beat out the previous low. It came just a little bit short. And ZT is running into some stuff now. See that? Okay. What was that? The 5-year is stopping here too. Well, they are hitting into '09. I don't know, guys. This is a kind of a weird move overall, to be honest. The thing that I find weird is this super one-directional move in the morning. All this stuff that we had, and then this right here is really weird. So they were offered there for a bit in CT, and now they're not.
The mayor and Schultz have now finished their press conference.
See, that's not what you're supposed to see, guys.
Trier now takes up his now having heard from this is national briefings at the extraordinary Eurogroup meeting. So we're probably going to go over the same stuff we've heard from Trier, but we'll keep an ear out.
Yeah, I should have just marketed out, guys. I'm just not on today. And quite a bit of excitement here in the E-mini. Interesting on the Treasuries here. Yeah, right there, they beat out that 10K. Well, it's not out. It's not done yet. That's interesting. Yeah.
DBRS there, the rating agency, says that in the UK, UK economy is resilient enough to withstand various political scenarios. No S&P on a no deal would downgrade.
Was that the overnight? They didn't actually pierce the overnight. That's interesting. Hmm. I have an awfully good spot in line there, don't I?
Equity news, much no danger for Renault. French state play its role. Too soon to talk about Nissan chairman's replacement. Need for call. Assumption of own. No worry about the stability level of Renault.
Still not filled up. Okay. I'm happy about that last one. Well, so I ended up overall only down 3. Russian LV Bitcoin below 5,000 to 1,500. I don't know about 1,500. I think my indicator right now is saying more like 2, but we kind of got to see what it does when it gets there. But this price action is pretty negative. Pretty negative. I wouldn't want to be long Bitcoin right now. And I'm curious to see if they decide to take the 5K level again, because they could really dash through a lot there. You know? And getting out at the 09 actually was probably the best thing because didn't go through it, you know.
Okay, we should hear
So.
from Feds Williams speaking on a moderated Q&A. New York.
Yeah, well, I'm going to post my notes here.
At 1:45. So in a couple of minutes from now, we should start to hear from Feds Williams speaks in a moderated Q&A. Bronx, New York. I don't know how much of this you take in, and I'll retweet it. But Carl Deanan again, speaking about the delegation that entered into number 10, just says that the Brexiteer delegation were carrying a printout mail from Sabine Wayland, Owen Patterson, apparently approving of some of their ideas for keeping the Irish border open, captured by photographers outside. And for those who want to know, Sabine Wayland is apparently happy to acquiesce to some of the ideas and CNBC reports that Disney stocks get Chinese approval.
Okay, well, that was a interesting day. Seems like, I mean, there's a lot of Brexit stuff going on, so that could be a bit of what the action is. See it flip around quite that strong though was awfully unusual. I played it both ways, but I did make some money on the buys, didn't I? See, it was only the buys that made me money. So, should have held some of these. I just really had no clue that it was going to go up that far. I don't know. And, when it moves like that, it's very, very difficult to know where it's going to stop. And if you didn't catch it at the bottom, that's where it kind of becomes a risky thing because you don't want to buy the top, right? But it wasn't too big of a deal. And it was really the bad thing was this: when I sold 025 way back here, like I took 15 and then I sold 025 thinking it was going to come back across the range, and it got all the way up to there, and I didn't puke there at like 035. That was bad. So that was really where the loss came from. Otherwise, I would be up +1, right? So yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Check out the Patreon. You should now be able to see the notes from just before the Bitcoin drop. So I would definitely go and read that. All right. Anyways, I will catch you guys